I am discussing about fatty acids and phospholipids. Different fatty acids I have mentioned. Polyunsaturated fatty acids, 2 double bonds, linoleic acid, 3 double bond, linolenic, 4 double bonds, arachidonic, 5 double bonds, icosapentaenoic acid or timnodonic acid, 6 double bonds, docosahexaenoic acid or carbonic acid. These are the examples of the fatty acids, important examples, and all the fatty acids are divided into omega 3, omega 6 and omega 9 family. In omega classification, 3 types, omega 3, omega 6 and omega 9. The example of the omega 3 fatty acids is linolenic acid, 3 double bond linolenic acid. Another one is the timnodonic acid or icosapentaenoic acid. Another one is docosahexaenoic acid. These are the examples of omega 3 type fatty acids, and omega 6 type of fatty acids examples are linoleic acid, 2 double bond, arachidonic acids, 4 double bonds. And omega 9 family is the monounsaturated fatty acid, and that is oleic acid. These are the different types of the fatty acids, and they are omega family. Omega family is important. Out of this omega family, omega 3 is the most important to reduce cardiovascular disease. And I have mentioned also there are 2 important types of isomerism of the fatty acid, that is cis and trans. Trans is detrimental to health and cis is beneficial to health. Cis and trans I have discussed. This is the cis. Cis form. Cis form is the most widely distributed in nature. Cis form is widely. All the fatty acids I have given examples are of cis variety. All fatty acids I have cited are of cis variety, not trans. But trans fat occurs in our body during hydrogenation or hardening of the fat. This is trans. H is in opposite direction. COOH, CH3. This is the trans form. And fat containing trans form of the fatty acids are known as trans fat, and we are trying to minimize the trans fat in our diet. Now regarding phospholipids, phospholipids I have discussed in general, but phospholipids are of 2 types. Phospholipids are of the 2 types according to alcohol. Phospholipids means, what are the background? Fatty acid plus 1 alcohol plus third party, that is phosphoric acid. Third party is phosphoric acid. Now regarding the type of the alcohol, when alcohol is glycerol, Alcohol may be other than glycerol, that is sphingosine. When sphingosine is present, it is called sphingophospholipids. When alcohol is sphingosine, that means fatty acid plus sphingosine plus X is equal to sphingophospholipid. And alcohol is glycerol. It is called glycerophospholipid. And all the examples of the phospholipids I have cited yesterday all belong to glycerophospholipids. যে এক্সাম্পলগুলো আমি কালকে দিয়েছিলাম, the examples of the phospholipids I have mentioned yesterday are all belong to glycerophospholipids. That means phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, phosphatidylinosetol, phosphatidylserine, cardiolipin, all are glycerophospholipids. All are glycerophospholipids. Yesterday's examples are all glycerophospholipids. Now, only examples of the sphingophospholipids is the sphingomyelin. Glycerophospholipids er onek example ache, many examples of the glycerophospholipids. But remember, only one example of the sphingophospholipid which is present in the nervous tissue predominantly, and that is known as sphingomyelin. Sphingomyelin. Then sphingomyelin is called sphingophospholipid, or it may be called sphingolipid. So there are two types of phospholipids, glycerophospholipids, sphingophospholipids. Both types of the phospholipids are present in the cell membrane. Now, what is sphingophospholipid? Where sphingosine is the backbone. Sphingosine contains an alcohol group which is esterified by a fatty acid, and that fatty acid is known as, then combination is known as ceramide. If I draw the structure of sphingomyelin, sphingosine, this is be like that. You may not memorize, but you have to know what is the position of the alcohol, which is esterified. This is an amino alcohol. There is one alcohol, another alcohol. There are two alcohol groups. This is the sphingosine. There are in the glycerol there are three alcohol. Here there is only one alcohol. Here there are two alcohol. This is the secondary alcohol. This is the primary alcohol. Then it is esterified with amino group, not hydroxyl group, by acid. And this structure is known as ceramide. Ceramide is the common component of all sphingolipids. That is sphingosine plus fatty acid. Sphingosine plus fatty acid, this structure I have drawn, this is the structure of ceramide. And sphingophospholipid, the sphingomyelin. Sphingomyelin is derivative of the ceramide. Here, there is phosphoric acid, which is attached to choline. This is the sphingomyelin, derivative of the ceramide. Ceramide is again combination of the fatty acid and sphingomyelin. This is the structure of sphingomyelin. Myelin means it is present in myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is present in nervous tissue. Important phospholipid of the nervous tissue is the sphingomyelin, and the disease concerned with sphingomyelin is known as Niemann-Pick's disease. You will later learn Niemann-Pick's disease is an accumulation of the sphingomyelin due to absence of the enzyme sphingomyelinase. Anyway, this is the only phospholipid, only sphingophospholipid, sphingomyelin. Now, I will talk about the sphingolipids. Sphingolipids containing sphingosine. Sphingolipids, একটা sphingolipid তারপর বললাম, that is phosphosphingolipid, sphingophospholipid, I have mentioned already. And another one is the glycosphingolipid. Sphingophospholipid মানে sphingomyelin, which is composed of sphingosine plus fatty acid plus phosphate plus choline. On hydrolysis or on breakdown of the sphingomyelin, we can get the following components: sphingosine, fatty acid, phosphate, choline. Now, sphingosine and fatty acid is known as ceramide, as I have mentioned. ঠিক আছে, sphingosine and fatty acid যেটা আমি আগে দেখালাম structure, that is ceramide. Ceramide is sphingosine and fatty acid. Now, this is also derivative of the ceramide. Glycosphingolipid is also derivative of ceramide. কিন্তু এখানে ফসফেট থাকবে না. There is no phosphate. Instead of phosphate, there is sugar. Derivative of ceramide. All are derivative of ceramide. All sphingolipids are derivative of ceramide. Sphingomyelin is also derivative of ceramide. এখানে ceramide এর derivative, কিন্তু এখানে গ্লিসারল থাকবে, ফ্যাটি অ্যাসিড থাকবে, তার সঙ্গে থাকবে সুগার। গ্লিসারল ফ্যাটি অ্যাসিড থাকবে, তার সঙ্গে থাকবে সুগার, এখানে কোনো ফসফেট থাকবে না। In case of glycosphingolipid, there will be no phosphate. Instead of phosphate, there is sugar. So, it is known as glycolipid. In phospholipid, it is phospholipid. It is phospholipid, but it is not phospholipid, it is glycolipid. Glycosphingolipid and glycolipids are more or less same in our body. All the glycolipids in our body are practically glycosphingolipid containing sphingosine backbone. এখন সুগার ইট মে বি একটা সুগার থাকতে পারে, গ্লুকোজ থাকতে পারে, সুগার গ্যালাক্টোজ থাকতে পারে, এই দুটি থাকে। যখন গ্লুকোজ থাকে তখন ওটাকে আমরা বলবি গ্লুকোসিল সেরামাইড, গ্লুকোসিল সেরামাইড। যখন গ্যালাক্টোজ থাকবে তখন ওটাকে আমরা বলবি গ্যালাক্টোসিল সেরামাইড। এই গ্লুকোসিল সেরামাইড আর গ্যালাক্টোসিল সেরামাইডকে একসঙ্গে বলা হয় সেরিব্রোসাইড। সেরিব্রোসাইড, একটা সুগার যদি থাকে তাহলে সেরিব্রোসাইড, যদি অনেকগুলো সুগার থাকে, অলিগোস্যাকারাইড চেন থাকে, তখন তাকে আমরা বলবো গ্লোবোসাইড। অনেকগুলো সুগার থাকলে বলবো গ্লোবোসাইড। তাহলে এটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে, আমি এটা মুছে দিচ্ছি। গ্লাইকোস্ফিঙ্গোলিপিড কত রকম হতে পারে? সেরিব্রোসাইড মানে যে মেনলি ব্রেনে থাকে, সেই জন্য। আরেকটা হচ্ছে কি গ্লোবোসাইড। এখানে 1 সুগার, তার মানে হয় গ্লুকোজ থাকবে না হয় গ্যালাক্টোজ থাকবে। সেরিব্রোসাইড আর দ্য 2 টাইপস, গ্লুকোসিল সেরামাইড and galactosyl ceramide. Serebrocyte are 2 types, glucosyl ceramide and galactosyl ceramide. Ceramide সম্পর্কে আমি বলেছি। আর পার্টিকুলার টাইপ অফ দ্য গ্লোবোসাইড মানে অনেকগুলো সুগার, মেনি সুগার। এখানে একটা সুগার, এখানে মেনি সুগার, সেটা হচ্ছে গ্লোবোসাইড। And only 1 sugar is cerebroside. And a variety of the globoside, a particular variety of the globoside is called ganglioside. Most complex glycolipid. Globoside থেকে when at least 1 sugar, অনেকগুলো সুগার থাকবে, আর সুগার ডেরিভেটিভ থাকবে, সুগার কিংবা সুগার ডেরিভেটিভ, এবং অ্যাটলিস্ট 1 সুগার সাইলিক অ্যাসিড। or nuraminic acid. This is a derivative of the sugar, not actually sugar, but derivative of the sugar. When sialic acid is present in the globoside, it is called ganglioside. Ganglioside is the special variety of the globoside when at least 1 sugar of many sugars is sialic acid. So these are the most complex glycolipid is the ganglioside, and one of the important ganglioside acts as one of the important gangliosides in our body, that is GM1. GM1 আছে, GM2 আছে, GM3 আছে। G for ganglioside, M for monocylo একটা, তারপর GD1 আছে, GD2 আছে, D for dicylo। তার মধ্যে মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট ganglioside is the GM1, which is the receptor of cholera toxin, where toxin from Vibrio cholerae is attached and produce manifestation of the cholera. Toxins from Vibrio cholerae or cholera bacteria attaches with GM1 present in the intestine. The important ganglioside is the cholera toxin receptor. Remember, now these are all about the phospholipids and glycolipids. There are three types of the lipids present in the membrane. What are the three types of the lipids present in the membrane? I have mentioned yesterday. Membrane lipids are of three types. And the last type is the cholesterol, which I will discuss now. Membrane lipids means lipids present in the membrane. Any membrane, not in the plasma membrane. It may be the mitochondrial membrane. It may be the membrane of the nucleus. It may be the membrane of the lysosome. It may be the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum. It may be the membrane of the peroxisome. Whatever may be the membranes, there is phospholipids. Whatever may be the membranes, there is phospholipids. And membrane lipids are three types. Most predominant type, I have uttered many times, phospholipids. Most predominant. Next is the glycolipids or glycosphingolipids, which I have also described now. And next is the notorious element, not cholesterol. I have discussed all the two, phospholipids and glycolipids. Now I will discuss about the cholesterol. Cholesterol is famous for cerebrovascular and cardiovascular disease, cardiac stroke and cerebral stroke. But it is not meant for that. It is not meant for its bad effects. Cholesterol has many beneficial effects. I will discuss now. What is the cholesterol? What is the structure of the cholesterol? And what are the types of the cholesterol? Structure, একটুখানি জানো, এটা একটা রিং থাকে, যে রিংটাকে বলা হয় স্টেরল রিং. Cholesterol contains a ring which is known as sterol ring. Sterol is coming from steroid, and all the steroids are coming from cholesterol. All the steroids are coming from cholesterol. Now, what is the ring structure? There are 4 rings. 3টে বেঞ্জিন রিং থাকবে, একটা সাইক্লোপেন্টেন থাকবে. বেঞ্জিন রিংটা কিরকম? এটা হচ্ছে কি বেঞ্জিন, এটা হচ্ছে কি ন্যাপথালিন. এখানে যদি থাকে আর একটা, তাহলে সেটা অ্যানথ্রাসিন. কিন্তু এটা এখানে থাকবে না, এটা একটু অন্য জায়গায় থাকবে, উপরে. এটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে ফিনান্থ্রিন. The 3 benzene rings are collectively known as phenanthrene. On phenanthrene, there is a cyclopentane ring. তাহলে 4টে রিং হলো A, B, C and D. এটার নাম হবে কি cyclopentane of phenanthrene. A plus B plus C plus D. হচ্ছে cyclopentane of phenanthrene ring or called sterol ring. Sterol ring means A plus B plus C plus D. 3টে বেঞ্জিন রিং, একটা সাইক্লোপেন্টেন রিং নিয়ে হচ্ছে গিয়ে cyclopentane of phenanthrene ring and it is called sterol ring. Cholesterol is derivative of this ring. Cholesterol is derivative of this ring. There is a 1, 2, 3 carbon, and in 3 carbon there is a hydroxyl group. So the name cholesterol. Only one hydroxyl group in the cholesterol. Three, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. In 5 and 6 there is a double bond, and here is there is a this is the structure of the cholesterol. সাইক্লোপেন্টেনের উপর এই কার্বনগুলো থাকবে। টোটাল কার্বন হবে 27। 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, methyl, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. C27, hydrogen, this is the structure of the cholesterol. 27টা কার্বন, একটা হাইড্রোক্সিল গ্রুপ, একটা ডবল বন্ড, আর এগুলো সব ডেরিভেটিভ কার্বন 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 কার্বন। তার মানে কি এখানে সি মানে কি এখানে মিথাইল গ্রুপ আছে, এখানে মিথাইল গ্রুপ আছে, এখানে মিথাইল গ্রুপ আছে, এখানে মিথাইল গ্রুপ আছে। আর ডবল বন্ড শুধু একটা জায়গায়, only double bond. This is the structure of the cholesterol, very long structure. You can memorize or not, whatever you like, but I have to describe for better understanding. Cyclopentane phenanthrene ring or sterol ring. Cholesterol is the derivative of the sterol. All the animal plasma membrane contains cholesterol. It is not present in the plant, it is not present in the bacteria, it is present only in the animals. The counterpart of the cholesterol in plant is known as ergosterol. Counterpart of the cholesterol in plant is known as ergosterol. But cholesterol is mainly for animals, including human beings. Cholesterol, This cholesterol is known as free cholesterol. There are two forms of the cholesterol. One is free cholesterol, the structure of which I have drawn, that is free cholesterol. And as there is one hydroxyl group, it may be esterified with fatty acid, and that is called cholesterol ester. তাহলে এটা হচ্ছে ফ্রি কোলেস্টেরল, ফ্রি, আর একটা হচ্ছে এস্টারিফাইড। দুটো ফর্ম, ফ্রি কোলেস্টেরল, এস্টারিফাইড কোলেস্টেরল। তার মধ্যে ফ্রিটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে কম 30%, 70% is esterified, which is much more than free form. Esterified form is nothing but here there is an ester. This is acid, fatty acid. Ester of fatty acid and cholesterol is known as cholesterol ester, which is constitutes 70% of the cholesterol in our plasma. 70% of the cholesterol in our blood is esterified, and that is esterified cholesterol. And fatty acid usually is unsaturated. Now I am discussing about the effects of the cholesterol. Effects or functions. Good one, bad one. Laymen are concerned only with bad one. Laymen are concerned only with bad effects, that is heart disease. But it is not meant for heart disease. When cholesterol is in excess and it is deposited in artery and it blocks the artery, then there are bad effects. Otherwise, usually cholesterol is meant for good effects. What are the good effects? One of the effects I have already told, that is it is a important constituent of cell membrane, particularly plasma membrane. One outer membrane of the cell, total cell is the outer membrane, that is called plasma membrane. And there are membranes within the membranes, it is not plasma membrane. Outer membrane of a cell is known as plasma membrane. এছাড়াও membrane আছে, there is also membranes within the membrane, that is membrane of the subcellular organelle. Now, all the membranes contains cholesterol in addition to phospholipids and glycolipids. In addition to phospholipids and glycolipids, there is another lipid which is known as derived lipid present in the cell membrane, and that is cholesterol. Cholesterol is a derived lipid. Cholesterol is a derived lipid. In the first day I have classified lipid, where I have cited examples of the derived lipid: fatty acid, glycerol, ketone body, vitamins A, D, E, K, as well as cholesterol. It is also derived lipid. Cholesterol is a derived lipid, but cholesterol ester is not derived lipid. Cholesterol ester, as per definition, it is simple lipid. তাহলে simple lipid মানে not only triglyceride. Simple lipid means not only triglyceride, it also include cholesterol ester. In simple lipid definition, what I have said, it is a ester of fatty acid and alcohol. It is triglyceride. When alcohol is a cholesterol, it is cholesterol ester. So cholesterol ester, triglyceride, both are belong to simple lipid. But cholesterol itself is a derived lipid because cholesterol is coming from the simple lipid by hydrolysis. So cholesterol is derived lipid. There is one effect. Number two effect. In our body, what is the fate of the cholesterol? Cholesterol is synthesized by many steps, you will learn later on. And principal effect of the cholesterol in our body, principal effect of the cholesterol in our body is the formation of one important thing, that is bile acid. Bile acid formation. Principal fate of the cholesterol is formation of bile acid. And bile salts are coming from bile acids. Taurocholic acid, glycocholic acid, these are bile acids. And these bile acids are formed from cholesterol by several enzymatic steps. Several enzymatic steps are required for transformation of cholesterol to bile acids, which is the principal fate of the cholesterol. Principal fate of the cholesterol in our body is the formation of bile acid. Next one, what vitamin is formed? Formation of vitamin D. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. It is a steroid molecule is present, and that means ring is present, steroid ring is present, and it is synthesized in our body from the cholesterol. Vitamin D is the only hormone, only vitamins which is synthesized in our body from the cholesterol. So it is a necessary thing. Not that it is bad. Another one, formation of all the hormones having steroid nucleus, that is known as steroid hormones. There are many steroid hormones in our body, which are known as glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, aldosterone, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, all are steroid hormones, and all the steroid hormones are coming from cholesterol. So, cholesterol is not meant for bad one, cholesterol is meant for good one, good effects, and the effects are like this: formation of the cell membrane, formation of the bile acid, formation of the vitamin D, formation of the steroid hormone. Chatte jinis you have to remember, very common questions asked during Viva. Now, we will deal with bad effect. Bad effect is not always produced, it is occasionally produced. But good effects are always manifested. সবসময় good effects হয়ে যাচ্ছে বডিতে. Bad effects are occurring occasionally, but layman is concerned with only with bad effects. But we should not be concerned with bad effects. We should be concerned with good effects. Bad effects means when cholesterol is raised. Cholesterol প্রচুর পরিমাণে তৈরি হচ্ছে. That is called hypercholesterolemia. ব্লাডে প্রচুর কোলেস্টেরল আছে, which is known as hypercholesterolemia, and there are many causes of hypercholesterolemia. Hypercholesterolemia কাকে বলবো? More than 200 milligram per dl যদি কোলেস্টেরল থাকে। Normally cholesterol is less than 200 milligram per dl in maximum cases. In occasionally some people have more than 200 milligram of cholesterol per deciliter of cholesterol in blood, and that is known as hypercholesterolemia, and there are many causes of hypercholesterolemia which we will be discussed later on. But when there is a hypercholesterolemia, what effect will occur? Effect is that it is deposited in the artery, all arteries. When it is deposited in the peripheral artery, it will cause peripheral artery disease. When it is deposited in coronary artery, it is called coronary artery disease. Both peripheral artery disease and coronary artery disease are caused by deposition of cholesterol within blood vessel, causing narrowing of the blood vessel, causing necrosis or infection of the tissue supplied. This is blood vessel. Cholesterol itself is not deposited. Deposited is the LDL cholesterol. LDL cholesterol is the main cholesterol. পরে তোমরা জানবে what is LDL, lipoproteins. Deposition of the LDL cholesterol will cause atheroma. একে বলা হয় atheroma. Atheroma. And the process is known as, formation of the atheroma is known as atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is a greater term. Atherosclerosis is the deposition of the cholesterol in tissue, in blood vessel, anywhere cholesterol can be deposited, and this is known as atherosclerosis. And the production of this thing is known as atheroma. The atheroma when increased gradually, what will cause? Increased gradually, it will cause occlusion of the vessel. Occlusion of the vessel. It may be coronary vessel, it may be peripheral artery vessel, pied vessel হতে পারে, cerebral vessel হতে পারে, whatever, যে কোনো জায়গার vessel হতে পারে, anywhere vessel or blood vessels, anywhere there can be deposition of the cholesterol, and that is known as, overall process is known as atherosclerosis. তাহলে অ্যাথেরোস্ক্লেরোসিস থেকে আমরা কি হতে পারে? পেরিফেরাল আর্টারি ডিজিজ হতে পারে, প্যাড অর করোনারি আর্টারি ডিজিজ হতে পারে। যখন করোনারি আর্টারি ডিজিজ যখন সাফিসিয়েন্ট ডিগ্রি হবে, when cholesterol deposition is of sufficient degree within coronary artery, it will cause necrosis of the myocardium supplied by the coronary artery. Necrosis of the myocardium portion of the heart supplied by the coronary artery, and the disease produced is known as myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction is the necrosis of the myocardium, which is a part of the heart. Necrosis of the myocardium caused by atherosclerosis of the, or formation of the atheroma within coronary vessels, not anywhere. Coronary vessels are vessels which supply nutrients to the heart. Heart gets nutrients, or heart gets its blood itself. It is also requires blood for its survival, and that is coming from coronary artery. And if the coronary artery is blocked by the hypercholesterolemia, then it will cause coronary artery disease, and severe form of the coronary artery disease is known as acute myocardial infarction. acute myocardial infarction is a severe form of the coronary artery disease produced mainly, not only, mainly by the excessive cholesterol in the blood, that is hypercholesterolemia. That is a bad effect. So, both effects are, we are concerned with both effects, but day to day we enjoy good effects. In day to day life, we enjoy good effects and bad effects are coming occasionally. This is all about the lipids, and one of the derivative of the lipid, last time I will touch just now, that is eicosanoids. Eicosanoids are 20 carbon fatty acid derivative. Derivative of the 20 carbon fatty acid. ইকোসা, এই ইকোসা কথাটার মানে হচ্ছে, the meaning of the ইকোসা, it is 20 carbon. Derivatives of the 20 carbon fatty acids. Which one the 20 carbon fatty acid? Which one is the important 20 carbon fatty acid? 20 carbon fatty acids, important 20 carbon fatty acid is known as arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid. So, all the products derived from the arachidonic acids are known as eicosanoids. So, products derived from 20 carbon fatty acid, that is arachidonic acid. Twenty carbon fatty acid having 4 double bonds, 5, 8, 11, 14. 20 carbon polyunsaturated fatty acids having 4 double bonds, 5, 8, 11, 14. Is known as arachidonic acid, an important fatty acids in our body, and because of the production of eicosanoids. And the examples of the eicosanoids: prostaglandins, which is also known as local hormone, thromboxane, which causes platelet aggregation and thereby promotes coronary artery disease. Prostacyclins, which causes opposite effect of thromboxanes. It causes platelet aggregation. Prostacyclins causes inhibition of the platelet aggregation due to opposite effect. Leukotrienes, lipoxins. All these compounds are collectively known as eicosanoids. All these compounds, 5 compounds, are collectively known as eicosanoids, derived from arachidonic acid. And a separate class will be taken on eicosanoids, because there are many clinical importance of the eicosanoids, and it will be described in one class later on. This is all about, I have this the chemistry of the lipids. Chemistry of the lipids starts from classification, definition, examples. fatty acids, phospholipids, and lastly, sphingolipids. All encompass the lipid. Now, thank you.